Hi there! Welcome to this brand new series of videos that we'll be doing on this channel. My name is Kaarthik Tharmiya, and I am the guitarist and a vocalist of Radio War. Now, Radio War is this project that I started with my friends Kieran Gibbs and Zakk Wylde back in September 2017. We just started in Zakk's garage. We were just trying to figure out how to really approach this, and we just kind of went for it. And we just started playing a bunch of shows leading up to 2020. Now, there was a bunch of lessons learned in 2020, and that's kind of something that I want to discuss in this video. 2020 was kind of a curse and a blessing because of all the tragedies that it brought along, but it also kind of gave time to artists and just everyone in the world to really reflect back and really look at what they were currently doing and the situations they were currently in. Now, going into 2020, we had a bunch of plans. We were just about to start playing in Deep Ellum in Dallas. We're a Dallas-based band, and it was going to be our first strings of shows in Deep Ellum in summer of 2020. Of course, none of them ever happened, but we were really excited going into 2020. The last show that we played was the first week of March, and we would have never guessed that would have been our last show, but it was actually to our biggest crowd ever yet at that point. And I was starting to get a little excited. I was like, okay, cool. Maybe going out and playing out of town is definitely the best idea. Now, going back and looking at the things that we should remember going into 2021, I actually made a list of things that I learned throughout the year of 2020. Lesson number 1. Now, this lesson kind of brings together a bunch of lessons, and that is to focus on what's important in that moment. So going into 2020, we were just looking into playing shows and getting exposure that way. Now, I've been in multiple situations where you play a good show in front of a pretty decent crowd. Now, the problem is the crowd enjoys it in that moment because it's cool. It's cool to just watch a band play and perform, and especially when they're doing a really good job of it, it's really fun to watch. But everyone might not always really vibe with the music. So what I realized when just shows just started getting shut down and we just couldn't play shows anymore, I realized that it's probably a better idea that we spend more time kind of marketing online, because that's how you find a niche in your audience. Now, this actually started really helping us in summer 2020 when I started to really push and learn how to market on Facebook and really push Facebook ads. This brought a bunch of new followers to our Facebook page and people that still interact with our current posts. Lesson number 2. Shows aren't that important. Now, this is kind of a controversial thing. It really depends on the area that you're playing in. We're based in Denton, Texas, and we kept playing around the Denton, Texas area. But the problem was we would play every week. And especially in a smaller town, you start seeing the same bands playing every week on every Friday or every Saturday, and you're less likely to go check them out because you might just want to go see them the next time that they play, because they're going to play next week, right? Being in this band for the last 2.5 years, I'm really glad we did play all those shows, get all that experience, get all that live performance experience, so we can just kind of get it out of the way. It's really important to really get tight as a band, and the best way to really do that is to perform live. But once you've kind of gotten the hang of it, definitely pull back. Definitely stop playing live as much as possible, but play live in the best opportunities. Play live maybe 2 or 3 times a month and focus all your energy in the studio. And that brings me to step number 3. Focus on your studio craft. Now, a lot of these tips are for original artists that are looking to make their own music and really show off their own music, which has been our focus here at Radio War. We love playing covers, but that's not really the market that we're going into. We're trying to really push our original music and our original content. And now, one of the best ways to do that is to really work on your studio craft. Over 2020, we had no other choice but to just go into the studio, and this made us way better musicians. In my experience, every time I've been into a studio to go record a song, I learned something new. I learned what I need to work on as a musician personally, or how we need to approach a recording next time around. Because sometimes when you go into a recording environment with an idea of live tracking, maybe that song wasn't perfect for live tracking. Maybe that song should have been built up from the bottom. So spending a lot of time in the studio is very important, and the best way to do that is to find a producer that's best for your band. And this is something that took me a couple years to really learn and really understand. The first producer that we really recorded with, great producer, great guy, really product turned out really awesome, but he wasn't the right producer for the style of music that we were going for. So it's really been a blessing to have a producer that has been working closely with our band. Step number 4, make video content. Now this has been actually kind of a challenge for us. Ironically, even though there are 2 filmmakers in Radio War, me and Kieran are both degree-holding filmmakers. So it's been a kind of a goal of ours to really push this platform. And if you're not a filmmaker yourself, please find yourself somebody that knows what they're doing, or just teach yourself. It's a super valuable skill to really have. Just a lot of these days you can just use your phone as your camera, and that's usually the best way to really go about it. Phones have great quality these days. You can upload directly from your phone to YouTube, which we've done on this channel before. I've scheduled multiple uploads to just go on this channel, and it's a really great thing to really look into, because this world runs on visual mediums, especially TikTok and all that stuff. It's really important to show off your digital video content. Lesson number 5, which ties a little bit back into the video content aspect of things, and it is to learn how to market that video content, learn how to really properly market those songs that you're releasing. Now, this is something that we've been struggling with, but this is something that I hope in this series of videos that I can explain more about, and explain about how we've been growing in that area of things. And the best way to really do this is to find YouTubers and find blogs that really talk about marketing and how to perfectly push your content on Facebook or on YouTube. And the best way to really do that is to find out what's best for your genre of music. And the final lesson that we learned in 2020 was to keep moving forward. Now, this is a kind of like a mentality that a lot of musicians, a lot of popular musicians, a lot of successful musicians have followed in the past. It's to move past any obstacle. And that's something that I kind of realized in 2020 is like, oh, we can't play shows anymore. What can we do? And that's the online marketing content and stuff that we are trying to approach right now, and the reason that I'm starting this series. Thank you for watching. This has just been a little reflection video on what lessons that we as a band learned in 2020, and going into 2021 we kind of know how to approach things a little bit more differently, and the best way to really do it is just to do it. And that's something that I always bring up to the band. I'm like, all right guys, like, we gotta make this video, let's just do it, let's just get it over with. And sometimes if we can't do it to the quality that we want to, we just do it anyway, just because it's better to just kind of push yourself and keep doing stuff rather than wait for the right moment. Waiting for the right moment for bigger projects is definitely important, but if you just want to make a video, just go ahead and make a video. And that's something that I had to tell myself right before making this one. Well, I've been Kaarthik. Please check out our links in the description below so you can find and listen to our music and watch more video content on this YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Remember to subscribe and hit that bell notification, and I will see y'all next time.